Hey, Team Redeem, I want to talk to you about coaching clients who are feeling stuck. Maybe they're 5-in-1-ishing, maybe they're sort of following the plan, they're eating healthy food, but they're not really measuring, and they're just kind of doing whatever they want, right? And they're not really, maybe the scale isn't moving. They're saying they're doing the 5-in-1, but the scale isn't moving. They're feeling frustrated. Things like that. When people say, I'm just tired of eating the food. Well, that's really usually because they are not in a full fat burn and they aren't getting the results that they're looking for. So step one is my 5-in-1 clients, I always send them or tag them in the video. It's in the bonus videos and in the 5-in-1 guide in Mission Possible. There's a video called Success in the 5-in-1. And so I make sure they watch that first and foremost. And usually 9 times out of 10, they're going to be like, yeah, I have not been following this the way I'm supposed to. Okay. So, and double and triple check that they are measuring correctly and that they are measuring, because I had a client for 3 months that was eating 3 cups of vegetables instead of 3 half-cup servings of vegetables. And she kept telling me she was measuring everything to a T and she wasn't losing. So, the other thing is that, make sure they're on the right plan for them, that it's the right plan for them. And if you need to, consult nutrition support to make sure that they're on the right plan for them. Some people on rare occasion need to be switched to a different plan. Always utilize your nutrition support. What I like to do is just do a 3-way call with my client and, get their advice. So that is really helpful. The other thing, one more thing that you can try is to have them do a fat burn blitz, which is where you're only eating shakes. You're eating the leanest protein and the lowest glycemic vegetables and no optional snack or condiments. You're literally just bare bones, okay? So a lot of times what that'll do is it'll be just enough to flip them over into a solid fat burn, and poof, they lost 4 or 5 pounds in 3 or 4 days. It happens all the time. So 9 times out of 10, what has happened is they have decided, they've been doing it long enough that they're less structured. They've stopped measuring. They're using too many condiments. They're eating too many optional snacks. They're 5-in-1-ishing. The other thing is if you have a client, they go more than a week and they cannot get into fat burn and stay in fat burn, if it's like a problem and they're just not getting into fat burn and they're trying to get in for 3 days and then they slip up and they're off and it's just messy, I'll just change them over to like a 5-in-2 or a 4-2-in-1, depending on their weight and their height. Like it's just a straight 5-in-2, 5 fuelings, 2 lean and greens is a good plan for those people, because it's more food, but it's still structure and it's still much less than what they're eating. And what I find is the people that don't get into fat burn within that first week and they're out of fat burn every time you turn around and they just can't keep it together, couple things, you need to re-aim them. Like, what do you want, right? Because if you do 5-in-1 and you do it correctly, this is what you're going to get, and it's going to happen much faster for you. You're going to feel good, whatever. But if you don't feel as motivated for that and you don't think you can get into fat burn, and stay in fat burn, they might not understand what fat burn is. So make sure that they, understand clearly why they need to follow the plan for 5-in-1 correctly. But if you have somebody that just cannot get it together, I take the 5-in-1 away and put them on a 5-in-2, because otherwise they're just in 5-in-1 prison. They're miserable and they're going to quit. And the point is for them to retrain their habits, not for them to do the 5-in-1, because, right? We want to help them. If the 5-in-1's too hard and they give up, then we've lost an opportunity to help them and they're never going to get their habits retrained. So hopefully that makes sense. But you know, consult your mentorship if you have questions about this. I mean, obviously, but those are just some general tips that I do to make sure that my clients are succeeding.